Welcome back to Pamoja Podcast, a ministry of Life of Christ International Ministries. Pamoja means together, and that's exactly what this space is about. The place where stronger lives are built, faith is strengthened, hearts are encouraged, and Christ-centered homes are shaped through ordinary conversations. They become extraordinary encounters with God's truth. One conversation, one story, one revelation at a time. Thank you for joining me for another powerful conversation. During our first conversation, I shared a story my father told me before I got married. At the time, I thought it was simply a beautiful story, a father sharing his wisdom with his son. I listened carefully. I respected every word. But if I'm completely honest with you, I didn't truly understand it. Not because I wasn't listening, not because my father wasn't clear, but because some truths cannot be understood simply by hearing them. They must be lived. Some lessons aren't learned in a classroom. They're learned in the ordinary moments of life. They are learned through victories, through disappointments, through forgiveness, through patience, through tears, through prayers, and through the quiet faithfulness that only time can produce. Today, almost 20 years later, I can finally say, I understand what my father was trying to teach me, not because I'm a marriage expert, far from it, but because nearly 20 years of marriage have slowly revealed the meaning of a story that, at first, seemed so simple. Life became my teacher, marriage became my classroom, and time became the interpreter of my father's story. Looking back, I smile, because now I realize he wasn't merely giving me advice. He was giving me a picture that would unfold 1 year at a time. So today, I'd like to continue that story, because my father wasn't finished. He said, imagine a man walking through a forest. As he walks, something catches his attention. In the distance, he sees a magnificent house, beautiful, peaceful, almost hidden among the trees. The kind of house that immediately captures your attention. As he gets closer, he notices something even more beautiful. Through the windows, he sees a husband and wife. They're talking, laughing together, enjoying each other's company. There is peace in that house. There is joy. There is love. Naturally, he becomes curious. What makes this place so different? The couple notices him. They smile. They welcome him inside without hesitation. He steps through the door. The house is beautiful, peaceful, carefully arranged. Everything feels inviting. Then, the door quietly closes behind him. Almost immediately, he notices something unusual. Actually, 3 things. The first thing he notices is the heat. Not ordinary warmth, real heat. The kind of heat that makes you instinctively look for fresh air. He begins feeling uncomfortable. His first thought is simple. I'll step outside for a moment. So he turns around, walks back to the door, grabs the handle, turns it. Nothing. He tries again. Still nothing. That's when he realizes the door only opens from the outside. Now confusion begins replacing curiosity. His heart beats a little faster, so he looks toward the windows. Surely, one of them must open. He walks from one window to another, one after another. Every window is sealed shut. No fresh air, no alternative exit, no escape. What moments earlier looked like a peaceful home now feels almost like an escape room. Except, this isn't a game. He's trapped. He turns toward the couple again. They're smiling, talking, laughing together, completely at peace, as though nothing is wrong. Meanwhile, His mind is filled with questions. How can they be so happy? Don't they feel the heat? Why don't they seem uncomfortable? If they wanted to leave, how would they? I remember hearing this story from my father and asking myself those exact same questions. What kind of house is this? It didn't make sense. Not then. But today, after nearly 20 years of marriage, I understand why he told the story this way. And perhaps you've already begun asking the same questions. If you have, then you're exactly where my father wanted me to be. Because every great lesson begins with a question, and every lasting revelation begins with a picture. As I look back today, I realize something. My father wasn't simply preparing me for marriage. He was preparing me for the journey of becoming a husband. There is a difference. You can prepare for a wedding in a few months, but becoming a husband takes years, sometimes a lifetime. I also realize he didn't choose a lecture. He chose a story, because stories have a way of staying with us long after words are forgotten. I carried that story into my marriage. There were moments when I remembered it, moments when I questioned it, and moments when I finally understood it. Not all at once, one season at a time, one challenge at a time, one lesson at a time. Then one day, I realized something beautiful. The house hadn't changed. The story hadn't changed. I had changed. Marriage had changed me. God had changed me. And suddenly, what once seemed like a mystery began to make perfect sense. Perhaps that's where some of you are today. Maybe there are things God has spoken over your life that still don't make sense. Promises, prayers, scriptures, conversations, seeds that were planted years ago. Don't be discouraged. If you don't understand everything today, some revelations can only be understood after you've walked with God for a while. God rarely reveals everything at once. He reveals enough for us to take the next step. Then he teaches us as we continue walking with him. Time doesn't replace the Holy Spirit, but the Holy Spirit often uses time to reveal what he has already spoken. So don't rush the process. Walk with him, trust him, and allow him to unfold his purpose, one season at a time. Next time, we'll walk back into that house, not simply to admire it, not even to escape it, but to discover why my father built every detail of that story the way he did. Because nothing inside that house was accidental. Every detail was pointing to something far greater than I could have imagined. Until then, may the Lord strengthen your faith, guide your home, and continue building your house one day, one lesson, and one revelation at a time. Thank you for joining me. Grace and peace. I'll see you in our next conversation.